video, you can always turn off your camera. So you've got that option as well. I do have everybody on mute because sometimes there's background noise and that can be a little bit distracting. And we can take it off mute at the end of the presentation for in-person questions. So we're going to be giving you some information, some tips and strategies on how to stay close and connected over the holidays. You don't have to take any notes because on our website afterwards we'll post a handout that you can download. So you can get that from our website, and we'll also post the video recording. So if you find that this was helpful, then you can share that with any friends or family, share the video recording. All right, I'm just going to move into the PowerPoint portion of our presentation, so just hold with me for a moment. As that logs in. Good, and you should be able to see that. Brenda, will you give me the thumbs up if you can see the PowerPoint? Great. Okay. So we'll get started. So this presentation topic is Christmas Holidays 2020, Staying Close from a Distance. And I'll interchange the term Christmas and holiday because I recognize that not everybody is celebrating the same event, but just be aware I'm referring to all holiday celebrations that we might be enjoying at this time of year. So just a quick introduction, to move my slide down here, to Proactive Seniors. We are an advisory service helping seniors and their families to understand, navigate, and access seniors support, programs, housing, and services. Our advisors are located in Calgary, Edmonton, and Kelowna, and we all have an extensive background in either seniors care, seniors housing, or healthcare, and we share a common passion to ensure that seniors and their families have the support that they need to thrive, to be happy, healthy, safe, and enjoy their time together. I'll just talk very briefly about the specific services that we offer. Proactive Seniors Planning helps to ensure that seniors who want to stay in their home or return to their home have a detailed action plan on how to be successful with this goal. Seniors Housing Support ensures that seniors who want to or need to move to a more supported living environment are able to find the location that is their best fit to optimize their health and happiness. Dementia Care Coaching ensures that families who are caring for a loved one with dementia have access to ongoing personal support for this challenging journey. And finally, for our clients in those above services, we also provide occupational therapy, physical therapy, and family support, which means helping with the little tasks that may be required to help ensure that our plans are successful. And now into the presentation. I think it's safe to say that we are not going to be having a normal holiday season this year. It's important to acknowledge this fact so that we can address the feelings and the challenges that we are all experiencing, and this will allow us to make adjustments, accommodations, and to be prepared and proactive, which of course is my favorite word. The pandemic has had and continues to have an enormous psychological impact on people. It is important to discuss how we are feeling. Holidays can be difficult for people at the best of times. We may be missing someone who's passed away, be anxious or about expenses or about expectations. But COVID has added a whole new level of stress, and we need to check in with ourselves and with our loved ones and acknowledge that we have been through a lot this year. People are experiencing a broad range of emotions as they deal with COVID and a change to our lifestyle. Some people are scared or worried. Some people are frustrated, angry, or even annoyed at the lifestyle and inconveniences. Most people find that the uncertainty and the inability to plan ahead is unsettling. Many who would normally travel to see relatives over the holidays and choose not to may be feeling guilty about not being able to see their friends and family. We're all facing difficult choices and having to navigate differences in opinions and perspectives that our families and friends might have. Many families are worried about their elders, about exposing them to risk, and about their mental health due to isolation and loneliness. All of these emotions are okay, and it's important to recognize them and not keep them bottled up. You may have loved ones who are living in a retirement residence or a care facility, and you are likely well aware that these facilities are being very diligent about safety and that they're trying to navigate a difficult balance between risk and quality of life. Currently, in Calgary, for example, long-term care protocols are allowing residents to have 2 designated support people who can visit. Residents can leave the building for low-risk outings or just to go outside or to be with their support person or people. And they may be required when they come back to isolate or wear a mask when they return. But this can change at any moment. And we would advise that if your loved one is in a congregate living setting, please be aware and prepared that depending on the COVID risk at the time, you may or may not have physical access to them over the holidays. So hopefully, some of these ideas that we will be presenting will help you to make some alternate celebration arrangements ahead of time. We suggest setting your holiday experience up for success. So first of all, toss out any illusions or unrealistic expectations. You don't have to make this holiday or Christmas perfect. Accept that it will be different and that this will allow you to move forward with some creative plans. We suggest doing an inventory about what you and your loved ones feel is necessary for you to have a happy holiday. Think about what is most important about the holidays to you. Is it important that the young children in the family have a magical experience? Does that bring you the most joy? Or is it important to you that everyone comes together from an extended family? Jot down what's the most important parts of the holidays to you, and take note of which traditions are the most meaningful. There are likely some traditions that have more importance to you than others. Which can you set aside, and which ones would you like to include if you can, even if in an altered way? For myself, the Christmas dinner is something I wouldn't want to skip. However, I can manage without the outdoor nativity play and the neighborhood skating party that we usually do. Think about how much time spent together in whatever format will make you feel satisfied. So for my family, I would like to spend at least an hour on Christmas Eve with each of them, and perhaps 3 hours on Christmas Day with my mom and my brother and my in-laws. My spouse and my children and my mother and brother, they're all going to have different answers to these questions. So I'd suggest that you encourage everyone in your family to come up with their own list of what they need for a happy holiday. And this will help guide you on how to make plans and try to achieve these goals. Overall, I think it might be best to focus on the quality of time together more so than the quantity. By now, we all know what the recommended COVID precautions are: distancing, wearing masks, washing hands, etc. But it's also really important to practice healthy habits, especially when we're under stress. Eating healthy helps to promote a positive mood, better cognitive functioning, improved sleep, improved energy levels. Sleeping is important for your immune system. Studies show Studies show that if we're sleep deprived, the body's ability to fight off infections decreases. You want to aim for 7 hours of sleep, and if you take a short nap, it should be in the later afternoon. Try and go to bed and wake up at the same time of day, and avoid caffeine and alcohol late in the day. Exercise, ideally with fresh air. It helps to lower your blood pressure, increase oxygen to your muscles and brain, and alleviates feelings of anxiety. And finally, staying connected with friends is important and well worth the effort. So let's focus on friendships. Talk to your friends and family about how you're doing. Talking to each other is one of the best ways to process emotions. Research has shown that friendships can extend one's life as much as quitting smoking. Friends help us cope with stress, they help us to figure out problems, and they help us to laugh. And laughter is very important to relieving stress and boosting your mood. Consider setting a conversation ground rule, perhaps no talking about COVID, and make time each day to connect with a friend who could also be a family member. If you or your loved ones need more support, don't be afraid to ask for professional help. As we've talked about, the holidays can be a difficult time of year. It is important to identify signs if your loved one is needing extra help, or yourself. Depression is a serious medical issue. Some of those potential signs might be having persistent feelings of sadness or anger, eating or sleeping significantly more or less than normal, withdrawing from your family and friends, or relying on drugs, alcohol, or food as a means of coping. If you notice these signs, it's important to reach out to a medical professional. And our last slide before we head into all the creative ways to celebrate is to determine your COVID comfort zone. Just because something isn't safe doesn't mean that people won't choose to do it. There will likely be a fair amount of social pressure to engage in activities over the holidays that you may or may not feel comfortable with. We each need to decide for ourselves what our personal comfort level is and to communicate it accordingly. We need to know our boundaries, and we need to avoid judging others on theirs. You may need to be prepared to tactfully decline certain invitations. For example, you could say, "Thanks for thinking of me. My personal comfort level is," fill in the blank. Is there something we could arrange that we're both comfortable with? I don't think you'll have much argument from anyone if you use a statement like that. Just remember, staying healthy is more important than trying to make everybody happy. All right, now into the fun stuff. So we brainstormed, our whole team, and came up with 4 pages of ideas on how to stay connected and celebrate with your loved ones while being physically apart. These won't work for everybody, but hopefully you'll find some that fit with you, or they help to get you motivated to think outside the box and come up with some ideas for your family. So first of all, back to the basics. A simple phone call is an easy way to stay in touch, and it can be made even more special by arranging for a different special caller each day over the holidays. A call from a grandchild to a grandparent is especially touching, or vice versa. Reach out to distant friends of your loved one and set up a surprise special guest phone call. Use these special holiday phone calls to reminisce about holiday memories or funny stories from the past, and share what you're grateful or thankful about in the spirit of the season. Snail mail. Everyone loves getting something in the mailbox. Consider sending something to your loved one each day over the holiday season. It's exciting to be awaiting for mail, and it might be kind of interesting to see when letters actually arrive and in what order. Take turns having family members send something. It could be as simple as a Christmas card or as creative as a poem or a drawing, some funny jokes or photographs. You could get creative with a theme, maybe the 12 days of Christmas. All right, brace yourself here. On the first day of Christmas, my daughter sent to me a photo of their decorated tree. So I'll spare you from singing any further, but you get the idea. Do you usually write a family newsletter at the end of the year? If so, send it along to your loved ones. Even if they know what you've been up to, these are the kind of mementos that they'll read over and over and share with their friends. Be sure to work out the technicalities. If your loved one is in a care facility, you may want to coordinate with the caregivers to ensure that there's someone to pick up the mail and deliver it to them each day, and maybe there's someone to help them read it if they need that. Finally, spend some time outdoors. Can you meet with your relative for an outdoor walk? Perhaps go looking at the neighborhood decorations. All right, now on to the other side of the spectrum. How about getting techie? There are lots of different options on how to connect with a video call, and it will depend on the technology that your loved ones have access to. iPhones and iPads are great for FaceTime. Smartphones, tablets, and computer screens work well for Skype, Zoom, or other video conferencing. You may need to provide the technology, which could be a nice gift. Just make sure you load it up with the required applications. Most care facilities will have iPads available to share with their residents, and you can coordinate with the recreation therapist or the care team to have your loved one have access to those. There are so many things you can do over video chat. You could read to each other, listen to music together, open gifts together, enjoy a festive meal or a family tradition at the same time. The holidays are often a time to relax and enjoy a movie or a Christmas special. And Netflix has a free co-watching service where you can watch a show at the same time as your friend or family with synchronized playback and live chat features. And this is called Teleparty. So you could try that. And if your family is quite adept at using smartphones, there's some great virtual games you can play. An application called Jackbox TV has all sorts of games that you'd be familiar with, very much like Pictionary, trivia games that you can do online together. Help create a festive feeling for your loved one. Seasonal decorations always help boost the spirit of the holidays. You could deliver or have delivered a fresh pine wreath, a flower arrangement, a poinsettia, a mini tree with lights, or other traditional holiday decor. Holiday baking is always a highlight. You can drop off or deliver a selection of family favorites, or even better, bake together. This is a great time for the baking expert in the family to pass along their trade secrets and share their skills and advice over a video call. And then afterwards, you can enjoy the treats or laugh at the outcome. If you're braver and more talented than I, why not pop over to your loved one's home and do some Christmas caroling outside? Or find a carol recording online and listen to it together on your phones or computer. If one of your family's important holiday events is a religious service, most churches and other places of worship are recording or live streaming their services, and you could get this set up for your family member to enjoy. Get creative with gifts. I had a bunch of fun with this one. So one of our team members, Judith, had suggested the 12 Days of Christmas as a theme so that seniors could have all the excitement of a little gift each day. I had so much fun with this idea over the weekend. I went and found a Christmas themed box at HomeSense and all sorts of great little treats to put inside. From snacks to books to funny mementos, it was fun to put this together. And when my mother opens it, each day she can give me a call and we can chat about the gift that she opened. And this works for any age group. It's just as much fun to create as it is to open. Another idea for gifts is to make the most of this quieter than normal holiday season. Perhaps send some comfy PJs, socks or slippers, a robe and a movie, or a new book or an audio tape. And finally, here's an idea that had us all in tears the other day. How about having a personalized song written and recorded for your loved one? Moment Makers is a Calgary artist who will take your funny stories and your family history and write a song about your loved one and then sing and record it. The example that they have on their website was amazing. A fun-loving song about a grandfather and his penchant for stealing cookies from the cookie jar and having his whittling knife confiscated because of entirely too many trips to the hospital for stitches. It was so touching. One of the most special things about the holidays is being part of the joy and enthusiasm that young children experience. How nice would it be to still share this feeling with your loved ones, even though they may not be physically present? A visit to sit on Santa's knee is a common tradition that won't likely be happening this year. Instead, an ingenious service is available to have a personalized virtual visit with Santa. Multiple people can join in on the live video call, while Santa has a one-on-one conversation with the youngster. The service is called jinglering.com. Another idea is to do a shared advent calendar. Each of the grandchildren can have either the grandchildren have an advent calendar, perhaps provided by the grandparent, or maybe both the children and the grandparent each have an advent calendar. This can be a simple chocolate variety or something that's filled with special treats or toys. This daily activity is a great reason to have a quick phone call or video call as you share the experience of opening the daily treat. Another idea is to do a hide and seek activity. Many children love Elf on a Shelf, where each day a little elf shows up somewhere else in the house and the children need to find him. Parents could hide the elf in particularly challenging locations, and the grandparents could be the holder of the clues. The children could call their grandparents to get clues for the hunt. This could also be done with little gifts or toys as well. Finally, sharing traditional stories is a way to share the holiday spirit. Grandparents could read a bedtime story classic to their grandchildren over phone or video call, or perhaps, keep getting these texts, or perhaps the children can read a bedtime story to their grandparents. Moments to cherish. Do you have a special talent that you could record and share with your loved ones? Perhaps singing a song or an instrument recital? This might be the younger generation to the older, or vice versa. Find a selection of family holiday photos from years past and create a slideshow of them to music, to holiday music, and share this with all of your friends and family near and far. A physical photo book is always cherished. You can use photos also to make a calendar. And finally, you can share with each other innovative ways to stay entertained. There are a number of great virtual tours of museums and historical sites that are well worth your time. You can watch them together online and then have a family discussion afterwards about what you learned. And so, wrapping it all up, we'd like you to be realistic about your expectations for the holidays. We all need to be gentle with ourselves and our loved ones when times are stressful. Make sure you acknowledge any feelings or emotions that you have in your friends and family and support each other. If you think someone's having a particularly difficult time, help them reach out to a doctor for support. Take care of your health in addition to your safety, and be sure you're staying within your comfort zone in terms of COVID. Spend some time discussing what's most important to you about the holidays, and then get creative in meeting those objectives in some way. Okay, we are finished, and now we'll just see if there's any questions that came up. So bear with me as I switch away from this PowerPoint. I think if I say stop presenting, I hope I don't disappear. This will end the presentation for everyone. Let's see. All right, I think I'm still here. Brenda, can you still see me? Yeah. All right, I just need to change everybody's access to sound. Okay, someone talk. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Good. All right, so we've got sound. If anybody wants to ask any questions, you can put your hand up by raising the hand, or we can also look at the chat conversation and see if there was anything there. Brenda, did you notice any good questions coming in?
We didn't get any questions, Kathy, but we did get a recommendation from Jason about another site that you can look at for videos, which is PNP, or Portable North Pole. So, yeah.
Good tip. We will put that in our handout.
Yeah,
yeah, you can create, that's Jason here, you can create videos. So you enter pre-determined information into and it creates a video on behalf, and it says their name and what they want for Christmas. You can post a picture for them, and you can do it for adults and kids, so it's fun.
Oh, that's a great idea. Well, we'll put that in our handout as well. That will be on our website for people.
Yeah, there's also different games and stuff that they can do for kids, but that's what I use it for most, is creating goofy Santa ratings, and he says if you've been naughty or nice too, so it's funny.
Excellent. Good tip. Thanks, Jason.
We have a question from Gary and Nick Jacques. Are there any tech solutions to provide FaceTime or Zoom-like controls that can be remotely controlled? My mom doesn't manage technology well.
Remotely controlling FaceTime or Zoom. Gary and Nick, I don't know the answer to that. Does anyone else know the answer to that? Can you remotely control those devices, those applications?
There might be an opportunity for something like a Ring camera, but I'm not sure if it has audio back and forth. They're making a number of these wireless, as long as there's Wi-Fi, of course, but the wireless cameras, I think that would be where it'd start to look.
Yeah, that's a great idea, Gary. So more like a security camera, but something you can control remotely and communicate with your loved one and talk to them. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, that sounds like a good way to start. I'll look at that.
That was great, Gary to Gary. Any other questions or anything we can help you with? So if you want to see the 4 pages of ideas, what we talked about today was most of them, but we had some others. You can find that on our website on the education page, and the video will be there too. You can share that around, but yeah, share any other ideas you might have. We're happy to hear them.
I just posted the link for the education page on our website as well. So people can go right from here.
Yeah, good. Excellent. Thanks, Brenda. Great. All right. Well, I think if no one has any other questions, thank you so much for joining us, everyone. We hope you have a wonderful holiday season and you enjoy time with your family in whatever way that you can figure out how to do that. Keep getting beeps. That's a lot of thank yous. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Need to figure out how to turn that off for next time. And any feedback you want to email us about how easy or perhaps how difficult it might have been to access this webinar. This is our first one. We're going to be doing them monthly. Next month, just before Christmas, we're talking about how to have the conversations about when it might be time for help. Those are often difficult conversations to have, and we like to do that right before Christmas because we find that families are connecting a bit more over Christmas. They might have those discussions. They might start to recognize when there's challenges that seniors themselves are worried about or adult children are worried about for their elders. So just before Christmas, the 3rd Thursday will be our next webinar. Hopefully it'll go a little bit smoother than this one from a technology perspective, but we'll be there to talk about those conversations, how and when to get help, how to recognize it. So hopefully we'll see you there. Thanks, everyone. Any other questions, Brenda, or is that all? No.
Thank you very much for this.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
know how to. Do you have, Brenda, are you able to still see any of the questions? Is there anything we need to notice before we log out?
No, just lots of thank yous, some good feedback. Yeah, there is a way to turn off that notification for the, remember we talked about that? And yeah,
Find it.
you were getting the bings every time there was a question or a comment. So, but no, I thought it was great. We had a great turnout, really, really good. Well over 40. Yeah, it was great.
Good. Okay, I'm just scrolling through to see if there's anything we need to sort of note, because I think when I turn this off, I don't know if we can see these comments or questions, but if you had a read through, I guess we've got everything covered.
Yeah, I think we got everything covered. The only thing is, I guess if we could look into the question about the FaceTime or Zoom remotely control. FaceTime is pretty easy for a lot of seniors, but especially on an iPad. But yeah, that's something that I think we should probably address as well. But
Yeah.
no, other than that, it was just I thought it was excellent. You did a great job, Kathy. Great
Yeah,
job.
your voice was great. You did a
Perfect.
great job.
Thanks, Judith.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I had a terrible time getting on because I had reserved my ticket, but it would not let me in under any email address.
Mm.
Yeah, I had quite a few emails just when we were started that people couldn't actually access the link. They had to then sign in, and it was complicated. So anyways, first try.
It wouldn't get me to join the meeting or join the team or whatever space. It would just ask for more information.
Yeah, I don't know
why.
Well, I guess you got to try it once to figure out what the difficulties are.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. But I feel bad being late. I just couldn't get on.
Oh, well, it's recorded. You can watch it again. Okay. All right. Well, thanks, everyone. I'll log out. So, oh, John, you got a question for me? You have to unmute yourself. You're muted. Can you go up and find your little microphone and unmute it? I'll share. Okay. Do you want me to share my screen, John, and then you can see?
I'm unmuted now.
Oh, good.
Thank you. That was most interesting and uplifting. I must say, there are so many good ideas that I feel a little bit of stress from trying to keep up with them all.
Yes, there was a lot of ideas. We even had some more that I didn't think I had room to talk about. So you just have to pick the ones you like the best, John.
We don't have to cover them all.
You don't have to cover them all.
That is a great relief. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks for joining us. Okay,
Thanks.
bye. Bye. Okay, bye, everyone.